And I'm going to let Facebook go through its motion so we can go live on Facebook. All right. Give it a second or two and it'll catch up.
I did a reverse for my mother-in-law, Matt. I actually had to buy one of those selfie lights and everything, and I interviewed her. The company wanted to use it.
Good. We're live now. We're on Facebook, by the way.
All right.
We're live. So I'm going to close this out and we're being recorded. So
Excellent.
yeah, video, video is a great tool. But all right, I'm going to start this off. Matt DeFede, Realty Executives, Elite Homes in Nutley, New Jersey. And I am here with Ryan Phillip. And Ryan, real quick, what's the name of your company again?
Longbridge Financial.
Longbridge Financial. And we're going to be talking not just about a typical mortgage. And you'll realize that Ryan is not your typical mortgage guy because there's a billion mortgage guys. But Ryan specializes in reverse mortgages. So first, I'm going to ask you the question, Ryan, who are you and where do you live?
Hey, Matt, thanks for having me again. I always appreciate these opportunities. So my name is Ryan Phillip, as you said. I grew up in Nutley most of my life, and I do reverse mortgages. I specialize in the reverse mortgage for over 17 years. I live in Bloomfield now, just across the Nutley border. Have a 3.5-year-old son. Been married for 8 years. My wife will check me on that one, but so I'm a local guy. I've been around. I love Nutley. I grew up there. I still have lots of my friends that I graduated with high school.
Cool.
Keep in touch.
So you're a local guy and you went into the mortgage business. The typical mortgage person goes, they're originators. They go and they get mortgages for people buying homes. You're in what they call reverse mortgage. Now, explain to me what a reverse mortgage is.
Sure. So what the reverse mortgage is, it's a loan for seniors age 62 and above that allows them to access a percentage of their equity. And the big difference is no payment is required on a reverse mortgage as long as they live in the home. So the loan doesn't become due until they sell the home, pass away, or the home is no longer their primary residence any longer.
So they could use, so if you're dealing with, let's say you have a person who's, what's retirement age, 67, 60? Is there a time limit when you could do a reverse mortgage? Is there a certain age?
Yeah, the older you are, the more money you qualify for. So someone that's 62 qualifies for a certain percentage of their home value. Someone who's 82 qualifies for much more because it's based upon life expectancy.
Okay.
And since we're not getting paid, they don't have to make any payments. They can if they want to, but they don't have to make any payments for the rest of their life. So we can loan more money to someone that's older.
So the whole thing here is not to outlive your equity, right?
That's the goal, right? I mean, the goal is to hopefully allow someone to stay in their home for the rest of their life and live comfortably, have peace of mind, do the things that they want to do. So that's the ultimate goal when I speak with people and we see if this is a good option. Is the amount of money you get from the reverse mortgage enough for you to be comfortable and accomplish what you want to do?
So somebody could say they don't have a mortgage, so say they don't have a pension, say they don't have any savings retirement, but they have a home and a lot of equity, and they're at that age where they're just getting Social Security, they could use this to supplement their income.
Correct. That's one of the ways they can use it. You have a lot of people, the average home value is 450,000 in Nutley, Matt, and look at the cost of eggs, the cost of groceries.
It's 511 right now, the average.
Oh, good. All right. I know you know that. So, but you look at the cost of eggs, you look at the cost of groceries, and that's difficult on your average person. Now think about a senior that's living on a $2,000 a month Social Security check, right? So, a lot of times those folks aren't going out to lunch like they want to. They aren't seeing their friends. They're not taking vacations. They're not enjoying retirement as they should.
Right.
And that doesn't have to be that way. If the reverse mortgage can help and allow them to get some additional income, enjoy their life, it's worth learning about.
So what about if they have a mortgage on their home still? It doesn't matter as long as they have equity, or
So the easiest way to understand it is we loan a percentage of the home's value based upon their age. So let's use an example. Someone in Nutley, 75 years old, they have a $500,000 home. Given the current rates and their age, maybe we can loan them 250,000 with the reverse mortgage out of 500. So 50%. If they owe less than that, then they can use the reverse mortgage. We would pay that off, eliminating their monthly mortgage payment. So that would be the benefit for them if we can get rid of their mortgage payment, and that frees up maybe a couple $1,000s a month for other things. So as long as we can pay off the mortgage or what's owed on the home, then they're eligible from that
so that would
perspective.
be they would say if their mortgage payment's $1,500 a month at this point, they would get rid of that $1,500 a month. They could possibly getting a check for $1,500 a month from the reverse mortgage company, let's say, and add that to their social security, and that could fund their retirement for the next 15 or 20 years.
It's quite possible. Yeah, that's what we look at when we analyze this is what this can do for someone. We do what's called financial assessment. We look at their income, we look at their debts, we see where they're at now. And it's very easy to tell where they need help. Someone may have $30,000 of credit card debt and they're paying $600 a month just to keep it at $30,000, so it doesn't increase. Well, if you consider the reverse mortgage to pay that off, that frees up $600 a month right there. You're out from the credit card debt, and then you can free up money for other things. So in terms of cash flow, you look at what it can do for someone's cash flow, and a lot of times we're changing it by $1,500 or $2,000 a month. Whether it be eliminating debt or increasing their flow.
Okay. And now, how does the mortgage company make money?
Well, we're a direct lender. We service our own loans. So in the secondary market, we're able to securitize these draws and they sell them to investors on the secondary market. So, a lender is going to make money in one of two ways. If they're a broker, they may look at origination fee. They may charge an origination fee. As a direct lender, though, that services our own loans, we make money when people draw money. So it may not be today we make the money, it might be in 6 months or when they use money from the reverse mortgage. We can securitize them and sell them on the secondary market.
Okay, you sell them to private investors. That's how you make money. Okay.
Right.
Um, why did you get into reverse mortgages and not just, did you start out as a regular mortgage person and then you found this niche? Because you're one of the only guys that I know that not only does it, but you do it with a passion. Like you seem like you really care about the people that you're doing these reverse mortgages for. We've had some conversations in the past, and you're not the typical mortgage guy that's just looking to, generate or originate loans.
No, no, and I appreciate that. And that means a lot to me because that's a huge motivator and that keeps me going with what I do. I love to help people. I love to put them in a better position. And I have hundreds, if not thousands of people that can comment on that. And it's funny because you say you do reverse mortgages and the majority of people, the reaction is, like,
Yes, because
yeah,
there's a lot of scamsters out there. You see it like on TV. You see the commercials for reverse mortgage. You see they have celebrities endorsing reverse mortgage companies. But I probably trust you before I trust them because you're not a celebrity, number one, but you also you have a passion about it, and I know you personally. So
right.
if you're involved with that, I know it's not a scam because I know you as a person.
And it's the most popular program is a FHA insured government backed reverse mortgage. So we have to follow both federal and state mortgage law. That's a lot. There's a reason my hairline goes up here. Um, but when I got into the business, my buddy was working for BNY Mortgage, and he was doing this, and he said, "Ryan, come over." And I started right in the reverse mortgage world, and what I loved about it was all education. And to this day, education, education, education. All I stress is that you don't listen to your brother's cousin's Uncle Vinny.
Mhm.
of what he heard, and you educate yourself about it and learn about it. Not because it's right for everybody. No product is right for everybody, but
No.
everyone should learn about it, know the facts, and understand them. Because I hate to see somebody struggling when they're sitting on a $500,000 house. It doesn't have to be that way, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I had a just a side note, and as you're talking, I'm thinking about this because you're coming from a different angle. You're not dealing with the pressures of, oh, I need to get this house. We need to close. I need to come up with this money, or else I'm not going to get the house. You're not dealing with that. You're dealing with the person who basically has a long timeline, and you're going to help them live a better life from the decision that they made buying a home years ago. You may be dealing with a widow who her husband or wife has passed away, and maybe they're in their 70s, 80s, and they could be living a better life rather than just passing away and leaving the home to one of their kids or relatives, which that's always a majority of the times what happens.
Right.
Uh, my joke with my kids was I was going to go buy a bunch of homes, and when I get to a certain age, reverse mortgage all of them, suck all the equity out, and screw you guys, find your own house, you know?
There you
But
go.
you're coming at it from a different angle. Um, was there something in your history past or in your life that kind of geared you towards this and developed the passion to get involved with this? Was there something there?
I always had a knack, or I was always drawn to education. I thought about being a teacher for a while, and I always had a spot in my heart for seniors.
Okay.
And it may have been growing up, I spent some time living with my grandparents, and so over there on Emily Ave, that house had seen so many memories.
Yeah.
And so I saw that's the generation, right, that bought their homes for 11,000. That's a generation that went through wars, that served in wars, you know, and
They scrimped and saved.
right, right. And they went through a lot. They had a
Depression,
sacrifice.
everything. Yeah.
Right. And my grandfather, I think the day my aunt was born, he was laid off. You
Oh,
know, you're right, right. So you hear all those stories, and I was embedded. I slept in the same room with him for a couple years growing up. Um, Not a Willy Wonka thing, but I was in the same room. Um, but you gain an appreciation and a protection. And where I said before, you say you're in reverse mortgages and people react like this. Well, it's quite the opposite with people that have dedicated their careers to this program. They care more about senior citizens and their well-being than your average person,
I think it's a noble cause, and I think it's great. And I see nothing wrong with somebody that's up there in age, and they don't have the because let's face it, more and more elderly people, they don't have pensions. They
Right.
don't, Social Security, is there, but it doesn't cover everything. And maybe that trip to the local luncheonette to meet their friends is means a lot to them, and they don't have the money to spend that $10, $20 because of their financial situation.
After all they've been through, like I said with my own grandparents, like you work hard, Matt, and a lot of people work hard.
Mhm.
You work hard so you can enjoy life later on and you can enjoy your family, and for them to go through all those things they did, to miss out on some of the joys of retirement, that bothers me. That bothers me when they have a tool that could make their life better, that could allow them peace of mind. I had a client once say, and it sounds like a cheesy s- catchphrase, but she said, Ryan, money can't buy happiness, but it sure as hell can buy peace of mind.
Sure.
And that's
Yeah.
what the reverse mortgage is.
Yeah. And I think that elderly people that live their life and contributed to society in this country and raise their kids deserve to have a comfortable living when they get to that age where they're not able to work any longer. Where they're not
Right.
able, maybe they have, maybe now they can't walk well or move around well, or maybe, they would like to keep their heat a little higher and not pay the, you know what I mean? Maybe have the comfort of that. So I think what you do is really a good noble cause. And we touched on inheritance. How does this work with inheritance? And say, I had a quick story. I had a listing one time in Bergen County, and it was a nice older lady, and she had a boyfriend, and she became a recluse, and she had this nice home she was sitting on, and she had two adopted sons that had kind of just left her there. And long story short, her boyfriend at the time forced her to put the home on the market, and she didn't want to, but she did. But she wanted to move, and she was in ill health. And we put the home on the market. I put the sign up on the market. I got a phone call from the neighbor. The neighbor called me and said basically, "Oh, their son promised me the house when she passes away." She
Right.
was sitting on a $600,000 home. Meanwhile, these two men that she raised were adopted, and she was a nurse, retired, and she raised them and gave them everything, and they abandoned her there and left her there, just waiting for her to pass away so they could take her house and sell it and take the money. What wound up happening, we had a good outcome with that. We sold it. We got her money. She took her check, went down to Florida. She got healthy. She started playing golf, and the last thing I heard, her and her boyfriend were living a great, beautiful life, and the kids got nothing.
Right. It's always complicated, right? When it comes to family and kids and money and inheritance. I was talking not too long ago at the Nutley Senior Center, and somebody asked the question, oh, what about inheritance? And she was kind of like snickery, like she got me.
What
And
about
I
you?
don't know. Right. And I don't know if she expected my honesty in return, but inheritance, if that's important to one of my clients, it's important to me. Whatever they want and they want to plan around, I work with. But inheritance, my stance on that is it's a luxury, right? I mean, if you can leave money or assets or homes to your family, great. But my question to her was, if your parents have an asset and there's a tool out there that can allow them to live comfortably, age in place, do the things that they want to do, enjoy their life, are you going to tell them not to do that so you can have more of an inheritance? It's that
Yeah,
simple, you
yeah,
know?
and I listen. I already warned my kids there ain't gonna be nothing left if I can help it. I'm gonna spend every nickel. Uh,
Right.
but I guess some people feel the comfort of leaving something to their children. But if you have somebody that's elderly and they could be self-sufficient with the money they have, maybe they need to hire an aide that their insurance is not paying for. Maybe they need to have, I don't know, whatever it may be.
Let me
Maybe
give you an example there, Matt. Aging in place is a huge thing right now. And I was reading a study the other day. The caregiver shortage and the cost of caregiving
it's
is
crazy.
crazy. It
Yeah.
is crazy. It's getting more costly like everything else. So I read this stat, 50 million Americans get home care. Only 5 million get home care from a professional. So 45 million Americans are getting home care from other family members.
Yes.
Now, that means, the stats about major depression amongst caregivers is 80% higher than your normal person. It
Sure.
is difficult. They're not trained. A lot of time they're in their 60s and 70s. They may fall. It's not good for their health, so there's a lot of pitfalls to that. So a reverse mortgage can come into play to not only make the homeowner's life better, get some care for a few hours here and there, but to help with the family, that's taking care of them, that's sacrificing their life as well. So aging in place is another big thing that this can allow somebody to do.
And I think a lot of elderly people probably would rather be in their own home that they've been there for 40, 50 years rather than go to a nursing home or that facility because that's quite expensive as well. And from what I
Everything is,
understand,
yeah.
they take everything once you go into one of those facilities. A home, if you have it, it's theirs. You
It's
know,
very, very costly. And it doesn't mean that the reverse mortgage and the home care is the right answer every time. It's
right.
not.
It could be,
It's
yeah, yeah.
right.
I get it.
Sometimes an assisted living or a nursing care may be the right answer, but that's where you need someone, and what I'm big on is education without pressure. And why I don't like some of those TV commercials and things like that is because you have someone call them and then there's someone trying to get them to sign paperwork the next day when they don't even really understand everything they should know about the
Right.
program.
You
That
come to
that
the
bothers
person's
me.
house, you sit down. I know your demeanor. You're very, non-confrontational. You're not pressure, but I have a feeling you spend a lot of time with your clients and explain it to them and make them understand it before you do anything.
Oh
See,
yeah, yeah. It
that's
could
where
be 6 months or a year or
I
2
could I
years
could
or
imagine.
never. Yeah, before someone wants to do it. But it's important to me that they know they have somewhere to go to get the facts, to not be pressured, because they deserve that, you know?
So, and you hold seminars every once in a while, don't you? Or
Whatever I can do to speak, because this ugly face and the word reverse mortgages doesn't sell a lot.
I'm
You know,
thinking here, maybe someplace down the road, we can get a venue together and we could invite the elderly people in town and they could sit down and talk to you about, either if see if a reverse mortgage is good for them or not. You
absolutely. I'd love that. I jump at any opportunity to speak to
Okay, good,
anybody and
good.
educate. Let me give you an example, Matt, about realtors now and how, like now we're in a challenging market where business has slowed for a lot of people, right? And I want to give you an example of just where knowledge about the reverse mortgage could increase a realtor's business. So let's say you're talking to a senior that's living in Nutley and they're in a $400,000 house. They don't know anything on it. And they don't really love that house anymore. They want their dream house is 600,000. House they always dreamed about is 600,000 in town. So if you have a realtor that doesn't know about the reverse mortgage, just be like, okay, I can't do much for you now. But if you think about this, they could use a reverse mortgage and the proceeds from that sale to buy the $600,000 home. So if they qualify for a reverse mortgage on a $600,000 home, let's say they qualify, for example, 300,000. So we can give them 300,000 towards the purchase of that home. They could sell the $400,000 home, use 300,000 of those proceeds. So they use 300,000 of their own money, 300,000 of the reverse mortgage money to purchase that home in one transaction. So now as a realtor, because you knew about this when someone wasn't too happy in their home, you have a sale and a purchase. And most importantly, you're getting the client in the home that they
Wait a
want to
minute,
be
hold on
in.
a second.
Sure.
I'm thinking here.
Okay. Okay.
So I have somebody that lives in a $400,000 home.
Right.
They have no mortgage on it.
Correct.
They want to, in their elderly age, they want to upgrade to a better home.
Some do that.
Okay.
Yes.
So they
Right.
want a $600,000 home.
Right.
So we take the home and we sell the home, take the $400,000, go to purchase the $600,000 home, and the reverse mortgage company will give them money, the other 200,000 to purchase the home. Is that where?
So they qualify for 300,000 in this scenario on the $600,000 home. So that's what they can get from the reverse mortgage towards the purchase. So they're using it like a regular mortgage, except
And they're
right.
putting the 300,000 that you're going to give them. The reverse mortgage is on the new home, so you're giving them
Correct.
300,000, and then
Correct.
they're going to take their 300,000 cash and put it in, and now they have a home and they got a reverse mortgage and no mortgage payment.
And $100,000 from the sale of the $400,000 home to live
Gotcha.
off of. Right.
That's an that's an interesting one. So what we need
Right.
to find is we need to find older people that want to upgrade,
Or downgrade. It can work both ways,
downgrade.
Yeah. But the bottom line is they don't have to use all the cash from the proceeds of that sale to buy
Ah,
the new one because of the
okay.
reverse mortgage. And that helps for a lot of seniors that are on that $2,000 Social Security income. They may not qualify for a regular mortgage because of the income level,
We may
you
need to
know?
do a seminar on that, purchasing a home with a reverse mortgage.
Absolutely.
That's what we need
Yeah.
to do a seminar on. But this is all good information here. So what's we're running up on our timeline here.
Okay.
What is the best way for people to reach out to you? Give them a phone number, email.
Sure. Sure. My cell phone is the best way. It's 201-618-3835. That's 201-618-3835.
And you'll go to the person's home and speak to them. They don't have to go anywhere, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The whole transaction can be done out of somebody's home.
Well, that's some really good stuff there. That's some really good information. It's a different take on mortgages. I never thought about that reverse mortgage buying a property, but now I think we got to have another conversation about this.
You're not alone, Matt. That's why when we go to conferences, that's why I jump at any opportunity to talk, because every time we do, there's 5 or 10 people that are like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know you could do it." And there's a lot of flexibility and a lot of uses that people don't know
Excellent.
about.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you, Ryan, for popping on here with me, and we'll be talking shortly. This is going to be downloaded, and you're going to see it up on YouTube, and then you could share it from there or whatever you want. You could share it from Facebook also, but that's it. So there you go, guys. Ryan Phillips from, name the company again, Longbridge.
Longbridge Financial.
Longbridge Financial. If you are interested in reverse mortgages, I suggest you reach out to him, and he's a wealth of knowledge. Thank you again, Ryan. I appreciate
Thanks, Matt. Always a pleasure.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.